Speed kills is an old trope trotted out by those well-meaning souls who probably haven't ever actually gone fast. It's a dictum intended to guilt drivers into socially responsible behavior. We went 183.3 miles per hour in Chevy's new Corvette ZR1 at the Texas Mile. Not once did we feel guilty. Highs meaningful chassis and power improvements over the Z06, minimal drawback downforce, daily driver capable. Lowe's sleepy automatic transmission, smells like Axis chemicals. Verdict: a high-value patriotic salute to front-engine speed. Truth is, going fast, especially beyond the 150 miles per hour mark, requires you to act responsibly. The activity is fraught with exponentially increasing risk. Accelerating through speeds previously only experienced on the fastest road courses, then keeping the throttle pinned, is particular to the struggle that is the mile. Started in 2003, the Texas Mile, now held in Victoria, is a standing mile acceleration test for those seeking a long-term relationship with blurred scenery. Endurance drag racing, if you will. Combining raw-like accumulation of speed and dry liquid-like top end for street cars, the mile is unlike anything else in motorsports, a place to really uncork it. We didn't fully grasp this until we were there. Until we saw otherwise unremarkable human beings drive 220 miles per hour in stock-bodied Corvettes. Until we heard all the ZR1's 755 horsepower erupt from its 4-howitzer exhaust tips in qualifying. You see, no matter how sober you might be, there are rules at the Texas Mile. And before you're allowed to give a hell the whole way in a car this powerful, you've got to show that you can handle it by making a successful qualifying pass between 140 and 165 miles per hour. Somehow, we managed. Carbon ceramic brake rotors comb standard. Available in either a targa or a convertible body style and fitted with either a high or a low freestanding wing, the ZR1 comes in the shape and aero profile of your choosing. Plant foot to firewall in any version, and its 715 lb-ft axe to the spleen reminds you instantly of the benefits of restraint. The 6.2-litre LT5's extra power and torque relative to the Z06's LT4 power plant largely come courtesy of a supercharged A with 52% more displacement. The ZR1's Eaton TVS R2650 blower makes 14.0 pounds per square inch versus the LT4's 9.4 and routes it through intercoolers with about double the heat transfer capacity. Port and direct fuel injection systems combine to meet the additional irrigation needs, and cylinder deactivation goes by along with the eco and weather drive modes. The ZR1's hood bulges like a pro street car's, but even short officer drivers will have no problem seeing over it. We ran the mile with traction and stability control on but still metered the throttle until second gear arrived. Our car was fitted with the optional 8-speed automatic. A 7-speed manual is standard. Only later, in our own testing, did we discover that 60 miles per hour zaps past in 3.0 seconds and that the ZR1 vaporizes the quarter mile in 10.8 seconds at 135 miles per hour, both numbers achieved without electronic aids. We also learned that a ZR1 with the $2,995 ZTK track performance package, as ours was, comes with some very real drawbacks if your only goal is maximizing speed in a standing mile. Included in the package are gummy Michelin Pilot Sport Cup 2 tires, a carbon front splitter with removable end caps, proprietary tuning for the standard magnet or heological dampers, stiffer springs, and, of course, the high wing that most clearly identifies the car as a ZR1. In this configuration, the Super Chevy is a road course-optimized machine sprouting an abundance of speed king, downforce-enhancing appendages. We trimmed the wing to its flattest position, the other option being 5 degrees of pitch, and prepared to go full pedal the whole way. The next pass, made on 101 octane race fuel per Chevy's advice for track use in the ZR1's owner's manual, was a 180 miles per hour wake-up call. It was followed by the 183 miles per hour best fit run. And then we realized the one thing that everyone who drives the mile eventually realizes: holding it down is an implacable test of cojones, horsepower, and aerodynamic drag. But it's that last element that most significantly limits the ZR1 here. Though Chevy couldn't provide one for this test, the low-wing ZR1 with less drag exists. See balancing drag and downforce. It's better suited to Texas smile madness and comes with the fringe benefit of not repelling all females. There is, however, a reason for the big wing car: turning stability, something we experienced in the days preceding the mile in the Texas hill country west of San Antonio. And the ZR1 does, in fact, turn. Like its Stingray Z51, Grand Sport, and Z06 brothers, the last samurai of the 7th generation Corvette uses an electronically controlled rear differential, making it a talent savage in the hills, a ruthless stalker of apexes, the overlord of power slides. It is also an annihilator of good judgment, catapulting our usual caution into the next county as it encouraged deeper braking and ever higher cornering speeds. It is a GTLM car for the street and exponentially more serious than a standard Stingray. The lighter, more communicative steering of the base car is gone, replaced by a helm as leaden as a tectonic plate. Up against its limits on the skid pad, it lacks the Stingray's playfulness, replacing it with the heavy-handed pledge of big grip. With its splitters side plates installed and its rear wing tipped to the full downforce position, the ZR1 made 1.18 grams S of grip, virtually identical to the Z06. Its brake pedal proves undeterred by any amount of speed, heat, or momentum. Braking from 183 miles per hour didn't phase the ZR1's standard carbon ceramic rotors any more than did our round of instrumented stops from 70 miles per hour at 134 feet. The ZR1's best stop came close but couldn't match the 128 feet of the 113-pound lighter Z06. Our only real complaint concerns the automatic transmission, which lacks the control of most dual-clutch gearboxes or manuals in heated driving. Its response to shift requests is perceptibly delayed, a fact that's more annoying considering the effectiveness of the manual and its active rev matching feature. Even adjusted to its flattest, the big wing limited us to 183 miles per hour in our official runs. That's what happens when you take a road course car to the mile. Comfort compromises are few but undeniable. Though the dampers are retuned to match the heavier front end and higher chassis loads, the 3,671-pound ZR1, in tow mode, offers the same road trip-friendly compliance we've come to expect in every C7. But the ZTK package is Cup 2 rubber, which has nearly zero void area, screams in protest on some surfaces, resonating with enough noise at 70 miles per hour to be fatiguing on long drives. The less aggressive, and presumably less noisy, Pilot Super Sports come only on a low-wing car. So pick your compromises carefully. Inside, our $141,190 test car included the $1,995 competition sport seats and plenty of carbon fiber, synthetic suede, and red stitching. It's a nice place to be and would be more so if it didn't smell like petrochemicals every time we opened the door on a warm Texas afternoon. Nonetheless, the ZR1 is a miracle of speed, and not just the straight-ahead sort. It effectively answers the question of what the ultimate incarnation of a front-engine Corvette is like. Two forever memories remain from the Texas mile. The first is of feeling the ZR1 at speed, testing the pitiless truth of physics and winning. And the second, the one that justifies the whole endeavor, came in the quiet pause after we finally lifted off the big pedal. It's in that moment, before the result was revealed, that we realized why people do this. Because underneath all the layers of Nomex and despite every nerve in our bodies saying we shouldn't, every last one of us is a desire to go real damn fast. It's why we hold it down.
Yeah.